Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 7 entitled The Business Transaction and Their Analysis as Applied to the Accounting Cycle of a Service Business. So before we proceed to proper discussion, let me tell you uh, the objective of our lesson. At the end of the lesson, you are to first describe the nature of business transaction and give example, then identify the different types of business document and also analyze the common business transaction using the rules of debit and credit. And last is to solve the simple problems and exercises in the analysis of business transaction. By the way, I am Miles Margaret and I will be your professor in Fundamental of Accountancy Business Management 1. So the first topic that we're going to discuss is the accounting cycle of a service business. So this is the example. I mean the accounting cycle of a service business. So the first step or first cycle is the transaction. After that, we have the journal entries. The third step is the posting of after that, we're going to trial balance and the worksheet. After worksheet, we're going to adjust the journal entry. After that, we're going to have a financial statement. And the last one is the closing the book. Then repeat the cycle after that. So before we proceed to uh, journalizing, we're going to discuss first what is service business. Okay, so as you can see, a service business provides a needed service for a fee. Okay, so if you are a business, I mean, if you have a venture or if you have a business, then it is a service business. You don't need a physical product or goods to be sell to the customer, but all you need is a service wherein you will need to sell it to the customer. By then, this customer needed to pay for the service that you are providing. So in general, service businesses actually have no physical product sold to client. Okay, yun yung sinabi ko kanina. You don't have physical product to be sold to the client because surveys are designed to facilitate the work of clients and in return are paid. Okay, so it is a non-physical business. Okay, all you need to think in a business is the knowledge, the skills, and the experience that needed by the customer. Okay, so a service business includes salons or barber shop. Yan po yung mga usually example ng service business. So aside from that, we have the laundry service, the car repairs, medical centers, and services of a professional like lawyers and doctors. So as you can see, wala silang ibinibigay na produkto sa clients or customers nila. All they give to the customer is the service by their businesses. Okay? So, tulad ng salon, wala naman nakukuhang produkto yung customer. Ang nakukuha niya lang is yung pagpapagupit, yung service na ibinibigay ng mga workers sa salon. So now, we're going to discuss the accounting cycle is a continuous process of accumulating, summarizing, and reporting financial information. So these are the steps needed. The first step is the transaction and or event. So you need to identify and measure the external transaction and internal events. Okay? So you need to identify and measure kung ano yung mga transaction na naganap sa isang activity sa negosyo. Okay? So at this stage, the documents used by the business are analyzed whether has financial impact or effect. Okay? So every transaction na nangyayari sa isang negosyo, you need to determine it or analyze if meron bang impact or if there is a financial impact or effect sa isang business. Okay? So recall the rule that only financial transactions are recorded and that the amount can be measured. Okay? So you can um, put in balance sheet are only the only transaction that have financial uh, included. Okay? So, yun lang ang pwede mong i-include sa business or sa balance sheet natin. So, you need the caption for for the accounts title and the amount of the accounts title. Okay? So, these two conditions must exist in order that a particular transaction is recognized or recorded. So, as defined, the financial transaction are those activities that change the value of an asset, liability, and an equity. Okay, so dito, we need to determine if there is a effect in asset, liability, and equity. So, yung mga nakaraan nating topic, we discuss na ang ano yan, yung asset natin must be equally the same with the liability and equity, or liability plus equity is equal to asset. Okay, so example of financial transaction, receipt of a cash from a client as advance payment to repair a computer. So itong binabasa natin is an example of transaction sa isang negosyo. Okay, so in this case, the asset will increase. Bakit? Kasi nagkaroon dumagdag yung asset natin, which the cash, uh, kasi nagbigay si client ng bayad for the service that the business rendered to the customer. Okay? So the asset will increase at the same time the advance from the client. Okay? Kasi sabi dito, cash from the client as advance payment. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa natin nagagawa yung service to the client. So, we have a liability from the client na dapat nating ibigay. Okay? So, it will proceed to liability. Okay? So, it will also increase. Then, the advance from the client is liability because the business has the obligation to render a future service to the client. Okay? So, yan po yung ang nangyari sa ating transaction. The asset increase and also the liability increase kasi dumagdag yung cash natin sa assets, and also we have the obligation to render in the future a service to the client. So, another example is payment of electric bill is a financial transaction. So, um, this will decrease the cash asset because we pay the electric bill ng isang negosyo, since nagbayad tayo ng cash, magdi-decrease yung asset natin. And after that, it reduce the income of the business at the same time. Okay? So, yun yung sa uh, uh, nangyari sa transaction na ito. Nag-decrease yung cash natin and also decrease the income of the business or the equity of the business. So also we have an example of non-financial transaction. So kapag non-financial transaction naman siya, hindi naman to needed ilagay sa balance sheet or hindi naman siya kailangan lagyan ng accounts title because walang nilagay na amount for the transaction. Okay? Example nito is hiring and termination of employees. So there's no complete details about the hiring and termination of employees. Another example is recognition from the government as most outstanding business. As you can see, it is not connected to financial transaction and also the debt of owner. Wala ring clear details about the debt of owners. So now we will proceed to finish official receipt or cash receipt. So ano tong official receipt na ito? So it is a document is used when a business receive a money or a check. Okay? It is a document used when a business receive money or a check. So an official receipt or cash receipt is a document that acknowledge that money or a check have been received. So yan po yung example ng official receipt or cash receipt. So ito po isang dokumento na kung saan pinapakita na yung isang negosyo ay nakatanggap ng pera or ng isang cheque. Okay, so para magkaroon ng official receipt, isusulat natin kung kanino natin na-receive yung payment and yung address and the TIN number and also the date. It is very important. Okay, so dito na-determine natin that we receive cash from the business. Next, we have the charge invoice or sales invoice. So ano naman to? So ito po yung sample ng sample sales invoice natin. Okay? So when we say charge invoice, it is a document used when a service has been rendered. Okay? But the client will bill only after a certain number of days from the date of service. So often, um, a company will issue a statement of account to a customer with a charge of sales invoice attached. Ibig sabihin po nito, yung negosyo is already rendered the service to the client, but the client is not being billed by the business. Okay, the client can pay to the business once or after number of days after the date of the service. Okay, so yan yung charge invoice. Another example is para mas maging clear sa inyo, in a laundry business, a customer may avail of the service of the business. Okay? Again, in a laundry business, a customer may avail of the service of the business. However, the customer and the owner of a business had a prior agreement that all service availed by the customer will be paid only after 30 days. Okay, in this case, charge invoice is issued on the day the client availed the service. Okay, so dito, the business, which is the laundry business, already performed the laundry. Okay, hinugasan niya o nilaban niya na yung damit ni client or ni customer, pero the customer the customer and the business agree that the customer can pay the service that the business provided for only 30 days. Okay? So if nalagpas na sa 30 days, yung usapan is magiging they can para may dagdag na bayad if ever man na lumagpas na sa 30 days. Okay? So yan po yung example ng charge invoice. After that, we have the check and cash voucher. So ano naman to? The check voucher is a document used when a check is issued to pay a certain supplier or vendor. So, for example, in a laundry business, for the payment of monthly electricity bills, the business may pay either in cash or check. Okay? So, dito, isa tong dokumento na kung saan ginagamit siya every time the business pay for the service or pay for the service. Okay, so usually um Usually ginagamit to, kunyari, for example, we have an electricity bill for the laundry shop that we put, the business may pay either in cash or check. So it's up to us or it's up to the business kung anong gagamitin niya. It's either cash or check. Okay, so but the company must prepare a cash or check voucher to support this payment. So para may palatandaan or to be cleared na nagbayad na talaga, gagamitin natin itong check or cash voucher para may palatandaan na talaga na nagbayad yung supplier or yung vendor or yung business. Okay, so this document will serve as a record of payment and at the same time as a proof that payment has been made by the company. Okay, sabi ko nga kanina, this document will serve as a record of payment and it is a proof that payment has been made by the company. Ibig sabihin, nakapagbayad talaga yung negosyo ng dapat bayaran. Okay, so the second step that we need to do is the preparation of journal entry or the journalization. So through the use of special journals such as those sales, purchases, and cash receipt and cash disbursement, the general journals transaction and events are entered into accounting records. These are called the book of origin or original entry. So dito, we will focus to debit and credit. Okay, so it is an integ integral part of journalizing process in accounting wherein the debit and credit are abbreviated as DR and CR respectively. So ang debit po natin is the DR and yung credit naman natin is the CR. Okay? So when to debit and when to credit. So dito, every transaction, we will know if there's a debit or credit. So in or an increase in an asset account is called a debit. Okay? Again, an increase in an asset account is called a debit. Kapag tumaas po ang inyong asset sa negosyo, tinatawag po natin itong debit. Example, dumagdag yung pera or dumagdag yung cash ng business, then ilalagay natin yung cash sa debit. Okay? And an increase in liability or equity account is called credit. Kapag tumaas naman po yung liability or equity ng isang business, ilalagay po natin siya sa credit. Okay? Pag tumaas yung liability and owner's equity ng isang negosyo, ilalagay po natin siya sa credit. So likewise, if ever man na mag-decrease ang isang asset, the asset account, we credit the account. Again, if we decrease an asset account, we credit that account. So on other side of the equation, if we decrease a liability or equity, we debit those account. Okay? Ganito, if ever na mas bumaba yung asset natin, we will put it into credit account. Pero if ever naman na nag-decrease yung liability and owner's equity, madadagdagan or magdi-decrease or ilalagay natin siya sa debit account. Okay, so now we proceed to rules on debit and credit. So the name of the account to be debited is always listed first. Okay, so the first thing that we need to understand na or need to do is to always first or go first sa debit account or a debit title. Okay, so you put the name of the account in the debited. Okay, so the debited account is listed in the first line in the amount in the left side of the register. So pinaka left side, doon po ilalagay yung accounts title. Next is the credited account. So it is listed on the second line and is usually indented. Okay? Ibig sabihin po, after natin kay debit, we will proceed na kay credit. Okay? So, ilalagay natin siya sa second line, then usog-usog po natin siya para hindi siya tumapat kay debit. Okay? So, the credit amount is recorded on the right side of the register. Okay? So, yun po. And after that is the total amount of debit should always equal to total amount of credit. So tandaan po na magkaparehas po ang amount sa balance sheet ng debit and credit. Okay? Dapat same amount si debit kay credit. Okay, so now we will proceed to chart of account. So when we say chart of account, it is a listing of all accounts title use in a business to record all the transaction. Okay, so dito, lahat na transaction na nangyari sa negosyo will be needed to recorded. Okay, so it is arranged according to the order of their appearance on financial statement. When we say appearance of the statement, ibig sabihin chronologically siya. Ibig sabihin kung sino yung nauna, yun yung unang gagawin natin. For example, nangyari siya noong March 1, March 2, March 3, March 4. So pag mag-arrange tayo, dapat mauna yung March 1, 2, 3, and 4 and pasunod-sunod. Okay? So next topic we're going to discuss, next week, we're going to have an example about the chart of account to be more cleared and to be understandable to your side. Okay, so I hope you gain something for this topic, and it is clear to you the example that is given. Thank you so much. Bye bye.